All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have a Tampa Bay Buccaneers film study video. We're going to break down a couple of different players and a couple different plays in this video because I want to start it off actually with McCollum because he just got an extension like literally almost a week ago. He was possibly one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the National Football League last season. We also saw Hassan Reddick sack. This defensive line limited Bijan Robinson and this whole Falcons offense. Let me get this fact check. 2.5 yards per carry against Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, one of the better running back duos in the National Football League. They held them to 69 yards on only 28 carries. We'll talk some linebackers. We're going to talk everything Tampa Bay defense because no football game until Monday night against the Houston Texans. I had a late night at Safety Harbor yesterday, kind of losing my voice right now for no reason. Those aren't related, but anyways, we're just going to get into it. It's taken me a little bit to get into this day. It's a beautiful day here in the Bay Area, and without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to start it off with this McCollum play because he was making plays all over the field. Tyke Smith had a career high in tackles, 11. McCollum also had a career high in tackles at 10. But we're taking a look at him in coverage here because I feel like the kind of critique here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is that they don't have a defensive back room. And we know Jacob Parrish had a phenomenal NFL debut. We just covered him a couple of days ago. Go check that out if you haven't already. And McCollum's like, truly, I saw an ESPN statistic where it was like, I think he was like the 5th graded cornerback in whatever ESPN's metrics were, like their PFF version last season. So Buccaneers fans know Zion. He played and started in all 17 games last year. This is like a 5th round pick in 2022. He might have been a 6th round pick, but I believe if memory serves me right, he was a 5th rounder in 2022. And last year we saw him get his first real opportunity to start some of these football games, and he did a really good job, and he was the highest graded player on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense per PFF. So right here, you got a nice little fun play design by the Atlanta Falcons. We got Zion down here. They're covering Kyle Pitts. We got, as you could tell, 3 guys up here on Kyle Pitts. And you're going to see Michael Penix because these guys are watching eyes. And then this is Servassier Dennis right here. Ooh, thought I had my clicker. Now this pass is going to be incompleted, and it's going to go right about here. But I'll pause it at a proper time, because right here, Penix is throwing this football. You can already see Zion is going down to make sure that is kiboshed. But I'll get an even better time. We're watching Zion. I'm pointing with my finger as if you can see me. He's watching this. He's reading this. He sees him dragging. He sees him. He's got defensive back or safety help here. Drake London, kind of the check down guy. Right here, you see him make this turn before Penix is even throwing this football, saying, I kind of have a feeling this ball is going to Washington right here for the Atlanta Falcons. So he drops on down, and then the ball's in Washington's hands, and he hits him, and he hits this football out. So I really liked this high IQ play where you want your defensive players to just be aggressive. You want everyone on defense to be as aggressive as possible. And if Zion's not here, the ball's thrown low because he's seeing him, this would be a completion. So I'll show you from this other angle here. This is very early on in the football game, and keep in mind, at this point, Tampa's already had a 3-and-out. They started the game with 2 3-and-outs. It's 7-0 Atlanta's way. They drove the football down with that big Bijan Robinson catch for the first score of the game, and you'll see Zion, you can't even really see him, but you see the ball's just been thrown. Zion's coming down to 82. The ball is in his hands. This is a really nice throw by Michael Penix. Good place to put the football. Maybe not because Zion's here. He's going to come in here, lay his body out, and get this incompletion. Now, he had a really good football game in my opinion, but we're going to keep it moving because we're just covering this whole defense in advance. I don't know why All 22 NFL Pro does this sometimes. It's a lot with like sacks. I really have no idea, so I apologize, and we'll try and breeze through this clip here. This is the Hassan Reddick sack. He had a really good football game in my opinion. Keep in mind, The context of this play here is it's 17-10 Tampa's way. It's 3rd and 4. They're obviously, in the red zone. They're on the 9-yard line, but it's 3rd and 4. There's only a minute left in this third quarter, and Hassan is going to get this one-on-one with right tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to make a nice move. He's going to get by him, and then you get a double team, and it kind of looks like he's being held by either the right guard or the right tackle. Dude looks like he's being held right now, breaks through this, and gets a great sack on Michael Penix. He had like 7 total quarterback pressures in this football game. I think he played a really good brand of football in his NFL starting debut for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But sorry about that clip, guys. I don't know why sometimes it's like this. So I don't know how long some of you guys have been watching this channel, which, by the way, hit that like button, hit that sub button for a couple of Buccaneers videos every single week. I'm huge on Yaya Diaby. I think this guy is a hidden gem. I think he's a diamond in the rough. I think this is a gamer. We did a film study on his last season where his sack total dropped like nearly in half, but if you break it down, there were a lot of near sacks, and this one is very similar to it. Now, this play, unfortunately, is actually going to be a gain of 19 yards for the Atlanta Falcons, but you're going to see a really nice stunt here with Cansey, number 94, and number 0, Yaya Diaby, because this guy is super quick. All right, so he was going outside. Now he's cutting in. Kalijah's going to draw these 2 defenders inward. This is perfect. The left guard's feet, they're already double team Cansey, and he just bursts through the scene. And like I said, unfortunately, this is ultimately ends up being a gain of 19 for the Atlanta Falcons. But you saw this. He had 3 total quarterback pressures. We might even show all of them in this video because, once again, one of these players where people are so obsessed with sack counts in the National Football League, and it's really hard to get a good grasp and understanding and an appreciation of both the offensive line and the defensive line unless you're watching tape from this angle, because you don't really, this was a gain of 19. If you're watching this in real time, it's like, gosh darn it, they just give up 19 yards. So Yaya kind of gets hidden here in as far as stats go, and Michael Penix does a good job of getting this ball out early, but he smashes them. Look at that speed. It was truly surprising to me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers only had 1 total sack, that Hassan Reddick clip we showed you early on in the video. We got Yaya back here. He's actually going to get chipped a little bit from number 34, Ray McCloud. Let me just fact check that. Yeah, Ray McCloud for the Atlanta Falcons. Then we get a one-on-one versus number 70, the left tackle for Atlanta. You're also going to see a really nice play being made by Vita Vea here down at the nose tackle. But we'll break this down. So he gets chipped, forces him very outside, and he decides to kind of go inwards. Literally just pushes. Who's this left tackle here? Is this Lindstrom? I don't want to get, of course, I can't see the goddamn thing. I have it messed up. It's not Lindstrom. He's a left guard. But anyways, this is the left tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. I have just my clicker. Oh, I can move it. Jake Matthews. There we go. Very good left tackle. Jake Matthews for the Atlanta Falcons. So he gets pushed, and he just literally gives him a little bit of a shove here. Shoves him, breaks inward, and then Penix is able to get out of this, and it ends up being an incompletion. But like I said at the beginning, you see Vita Vea here, number 50. He gets kind of lost in this stunt here, goes up against number 63, just literally bulldozes and powers on through. And it's kind of miraculous this ball's in Penix's hands. We got one hand here, Yaya's hand here. We got Vita Vea's hand right here. Penix, the ball's right here. Very kind of surprised that Yaya is not able to knock this ball loose. Right here even. Really kind of surprising this ball is not knocked loose. But this is 3rd and 17, and this was just a really good stop for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. All right, guys, here we go. And this was getting annoying because, Tampa had that beautiful throw. Baker had that beautiful throw to Emeka to pretty much put the game into 3-point range. And, Penix and the Falcons are able to drive down the field. And this ends up being a gain of 4 yards. And after this, you see the missed field goal and gives Tampa the win. On the road in the divisional game, we've already talked about this game a couple of times, but on the road, divisional game, especially just basing what Atlanta did to Tampa last season. A win is a win, no matter how you want to chalk it up. But right here, another great pressure from Yaya Diaby, where he's going to get chipped right here by Kyle Pitts, number 8 for Atlanta. That kind of slows it down a little bit. And if not for this, this might be a sack, and Atlanta's got a whole other issue on their hands. So he's getting chipped, and then we're going into this left tackle. He breaks through, and he is right here. Penix is about to throw this football, and he is able to just get this ball, the release point, high enough that this ball is able to somehow be completed. But take a look at his hands here. So he's got one hand on Kyle Pitts. He's got one hand on the left tackle. Now they're getting into it right here, and he's got this strong left arm, grabs with his right arm, grabs the left tackle's left arm. Sorry, I feel like this is getting kind of confusing. Gets low. You see him get a little bit low here, dodges number 70, and is able to just get this quarterback pressure. So that's it we have for Yaya Diaby, but I thought he played a really good game of football. So Atlanta ends up scoring here, but I saw a couple of you guys commenting about Calijah Kancey. It really blew me away that he had no tackles in this football game, but then again, Atlanta didn't really run the football all that much. I guess they technically did run the football all that much, but sometimes, the tackles, the blocks just don't necessarily go your way. There's 3 minutes left in this game. It's 4th and 2. This is a big drive. Now, you're going to see Hassan Reddick get to Michael Penix right away, and that's going to be because their right tackle here literally slips on his ass. And I will show it to you right away. He slips, which forces Penix to get outside immediately. And honestly, if number 71 here, if he doesn't fall on this, Elijah Wilkinson, if he doesn't fall right here, because Penix is looking this way, you can tell by his eyes, he sees his guy just fell down. And you got Hassan Reddick just running right at him. So he decides to dip on out of there. But once again, we're looking at Calijah here on the inside. Just uses his power, uses these hands, gets on the inside shoulder. The center's a little bit late to this, and he just breaks on through. Kind of, I don't want to say he's getting held a little bit, but he bursts through the scene. And I just have a strong feeling that, especially against this Houston Texans offense, it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa has 3, 4, 5 sacks in this football game. I've kind of always been under this assumption that Calijah Kancey is either close to a top 10 player in the league at his position, or if not, because of injuries more so and just lack of playing time in his first couple of years. I have a feeling that Calijah Kancey, by the end of the season, it will be established that he is clearly a top 10 player at his position. Now, we're a couple of plays later here. This is 3rd and 4. This play ends up being an incomplete. They challenge it, ends up still being incomplete. But we got Calijah Kancey going up against one-on-one in the right guard here, and he just bulldozes him through. He just completely bulldozes him through it. You see this strength. You see this power. He's just working this right guard all the way up to Michael Penix, and Penix gets this ball out. Like I said, lackluster as far as sacks go. It wasn't with quarterback pressures, and I really just think this team, this defensive line, they did a really good job at dominating the line of scrimmage, whether it was getting to Michael Penix or it was stopping the run. I think these guys did a really good job, and Calijah Kancey, especially on this drive that we just showed you, these last 2 clips, he was really getting to the quarterback, Michael Penix. He only finished with 2 quarterback pressures, and I decided to show them both. All right, guys, we're ending it here. Thank you so much for watching this Buccaneers defensive film study. We kind of drifted towards just the defensive line for this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. This Tampa team, I think they're loaded, man. I really think they're loaded offensively and especially defensively. Now, some of these young kids like Jacob Parrish, McCollum, they were just making plays this whole football game. So that's it for me. I do want to do a Baker Mayfield film study. It's just Saturday. I feel like people don't really watch YouTube on Sunday, even though the Bucs don't play. So if you want a Baker Mayfield film study, let me know down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this style of content, it's kind of what we've been trending towards and drifting towards in the last couple of weeks on this channel. So let me know if you like it. Anything else you want down below, and we'll see you soon. Peace.